How about now? No?
That should do it.
You know what's fun? My microphone doesn't even register.
Oh, wait.
Josh, you had one job.
I literally have more than just one job. It's working now.
Oh my goodness, everyone.
Oh my gosh.
I swear, there will never be a stream without some kind of an error at the beginning. So let's restart that. I'm going to turn this volume off. Alright. Hi everyone, and welcome to this weekly Wednesday live stream. I'm Timothy von Rueden, better known as Vonnart, and I'm joined by my hubby-to-be, Joshua.
Hello.
He'll be acting as moderator. And today we're going to be doing some flora studies. Now, before we get started, I do want to mention I am not wearing this coat to be fancy. I am legit cold, so that is why I am bundled up today. And we're going to be doing 10-minute studies, and there'll be 8 of them that we'll be working on. So an hour and 20 minutes total. Or wait, no, hour 40 minutes total. And we'll be starting in about 5-ish minutes. Hopefully there's no other issues that I don't know about. Hopefully that you guys can hear us, you guys can see us. And today will go well. So if you want to put where you're watching from, we'll do shout outs as we're getting started here. And we'll kind of talk about what's been going on the last 3 weeks. And then we'll get into the studies.
Perfect. Let us know if there's any sound issues too. Because I don't know if it's coming through I think it might be coming through the Mac. We'll see.
I think it's coming through the Mac. For some reason the microphone's not even...
So it might not sound the best, but...
It wouldn't be a Vonnart live stream if something didn't go wrong.
Let's see. So we have Ella from the kitchen.
Hello, Ella.
Currently making dinner. Sounds so good.
Ella's one of our wonderful mods for our Discord that you can join below as well.
And makes all the emojis too.
Mm-hmm.
Wishy's here.
Hello.
Wishy. Elena, I'm absolutely exhausted. Just finished a massive and grueling peony painting, so won't be doing any studies today. So you're sick of foliage.
I mean, peony is my favorite flower, but they are very time-consuming to draw because there's just a lot of like lush bloom with it, and to get each petal, you really got to spend some time with it. So good job on finishing it, though.
Barbara's here. I'm having
Hi, Barbara.
dinner right now, but I'll be joining soon.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Tim is fashionable and cold today. I can't, because he has a sweater on underneath this, too.
My Freddy Krueger
It's
sweater.
not that cold out yet. But...
Oh, you know what? I forgot my... Let me get my Mono Zero eraser. It's in the other room.
Oh, yes. Chronic, congrats on the wedding then. Thank you so much. It's still going to be a couple years. We're thinking 2025 probably. Oh, Ella, you're done with dinner. Sounds so good. I just had cereal this morning so far, so nothing fancy yet for the day. Oh, Amber, hello. Hey, Tim and Josh. Ryan from North Carolina here.
Yellow.
Let's see, Elena. Some of these pics for studies are gorgeous. Maybe I'll grab my sketchbook after all. Make sure you give yourself a break after doing, you said 80 hours on that.
Oof, 8, yeah, I believe it.
Audrey says, love your jacket.
Audrey's here?
No, it's Audrey.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we have a new friend, Audrey Benjaminson, and they are a lovely artist. You go check them out. But hello, other Audrey. Like I said, this is not like a fashion statement. I'm just genuinely cold, and I usually keep this on my chair for the winter now because I can kind of use it as like a heat blanket that I just sit on. But I'm actually cold today. But let's talk about some things that have happened. I just wanted to pull out, I forgot I got these.
This happened.
Me and Josh went to it's kind of a holiday store in Wisconsin. It's called From the Heart. And we got these Joanna Parker. Let me pull all of them because there's 3 of them. These little fun pumpkin designs. I never really actually used the lids for anything. I just like them as decoration. And I'll do a big...
They're cute next to each other.
Here's the green one.
This is where they look best.
So suspicious looking. We'll do a full like photo gallery of our Halloween setup once we get that all finished.
Tim has a lot.
I mean, I've been collecting Halloween stuff for all my life, really. So yeah, it's quite the collection now. Although I've been able to give some away that are like 7 out of 10 quality, so I'm only trying to keep like 8, 9, and 10 quality, and eventually probably only 9 and 10, so we'll have like the best of the best. But what has been going on? So we were just at Dragon Con, and I do want to show, my friends will think this is ridiculous, but I won Most Humorous at the art show at Dragon Con this year, and it was our Harvest Festival piece that won it. I was very excited about this, but more importantly, this is, I want to say validation that I'm the most humorous, but more importantly, it lets you into the art show next year for Dragon Con without having to be juried, which is great. Because sometimes that process can be scary if you don't get in, if it's a good show especially. Also,
Most humorous.
I have been going to town on Drawltober. So if you guys don't know what Drawltober is, it's kind of an alternative to Inktober, where it is basically any medium is valid. And we've been doing this. This is our 6th year now, I believe. 6th?
Yeah.
That sounds wrong. 5th? No, I think it's the 6th year.
If I might on my phone.
I think it's 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, this is our 6th year. And we recruited Dustin and Sang, so you can see more of them on our page. We're doing a host post. I think it goes out tomorrow.
I guess Inkwell.
Yes, Inkwell Illustrations. And we decided on the theme this year to be Season of the Witch. A few of you guessed it from my little teasers here and there. But these are the 6 prompts that we will be doing throughout October. And I decided to challenge myself, and I'm doing like a mini manga graphic novel type looking interpretation of this year's prompts, and I'm not exactly confident in what I'm doing, but I am giving it my best shot. If you are a Patreon member, you can see the first 3 pages already, and I'll be posting all of them there as I work on it. I'm trying to do a page every other day. It's probably around a 20 to 30 page story. I really wanted to I've always wanted to incorporate all the prompts into like a short story that is like sequential and follows along one another. So we'll see how that goes. But if you want to follow along and join in, it's free to join in, obviously. But you can tag us at Drawltober, and then if you look at the rules on either Instagram or Twitter, you can even win a pin. It is the coveted Drawltober metal pin, and we're getting those in, I believe, in like a couple weeks. They already sent me the proofs, and they look great. Lastly, before we get started on these studies, I have found this book at Barnes & Noble, and I think it is phenomenal. It's called Botany for the Artist. Now, the reason I think it's so good is it goes through not just like flowering plants, which obviously these will be the most popular for a lot of people, but it really dives into the different types of foliage, from leaves to roots to algae to lichens to moss, ferns, bark, everything, in like suggestions on how to draw it, suggestions on what to look for, the interpretations, and then also their literal objective purpose in a lot of it, because sometimes the more you understand a subject matter, the better you are in interpreting it and kind of making it your own. And I just really love the way that the artist drew these sketches, and I think they have a really good organic feel to it. It doesn't feel overdone or over-rendered. Sometimes they just leave areas just lighter and then other areas more rendered, and I just love, love, love that. So this is a book I highly recommend, especially if you are an artist that likes to do flora and like to do more like nature drawings, and you can learn something in the process as well. So yeah, this is very, very interesting, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah, there's that.
Botany for the Artist.
Sarah Simblett. It's it's a DK book, I think, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this one's very good, and is one of the main inspirations for today's streams, along with this was suggested by, I believe it was Oscar in our Discord, and they requested a study follow-along on flora, so that is what we're doing today. Okay. Are you guys ready for this? So I posted in the Discord the link to the Photoshop file along with the 8 JPEG files of each one. So if you want to go download those and or just open them, you can do that from a link below. Okay. And also I'll have them on the screen right below us. They're right here. So are you guys ready for this?
Oh my goodness.
Now I will say, before we get started though, try not to focus too much on detailing. Try to really capture the shape of each flower and each flora and each dead plant that we'll be focusing on today, and really try to see how organic and like fluid these nature subject matters are. And that's why I threw in some dead plants as well, because you can get so many cool, interesting shapes and curves and twists when it's, sapped of its water and it's just this dead, curled, furled brown thing, and it just looks really cool. And I think a lot of that shape language can then be pulled into other things that you're drawing. So definitely be aware of that. Try not to make it perfect. Try to really capture the essence of it. And I'm going to be doing the same thing with you guys. I actually might go bold. I might work with a 2 or a HB out the gate. Wow. I'm working with normal Kimberly General pencils, mono zero eraser. Don't mind the bite marks. That's not for me, I promise. And a kneaded eraser. So those are the 3 things I'll be working with today. And you know what? I'm going to sharpen this though before we start.
Oh no, your award.
No! My coveted most humorous award.
Yeah, oh my gosh. That disrespect.
I think next week we'll show off some of the art and stuff that we got from Dragon Con. But since we were already late to the stream because of the audio thing, we're just going to jump into this now. Okay?
Okay.
You ready?
All right, the timer is starting. Pencils at the ready. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Okay, so for this first one, I'm going to try to capture the shapes first, and I'm going to try my best to be more gestural. I feel like I have the habit of just going in and detailing out the gate. So that's the challenge I'm going to give myself, and I think each of you should try to challenge yourself in some manner, whatever that might be. So if you really need to work on your silhouette, your proportions, maybe it is more detailing. Maybe you do want to focus on the details once you get a good underlying drawing of the shape down. And the good thing about drawing flora and doing studies like this, you don't have to be 100% accurate with proportions and stuff. And this is where I like to draw fantasy more, is because you don't have to worry about if it's symmetrical, if it is perfectly designed. Because I think sometimes letting your imagination kind of run with it and letting the organicness just flow out is actually the best way to draw flora. All right, so I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to let you guys ask some questions.
Phew.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. All right, so Elena says, I finally cracked over 100 likes on Instagram on a reel.
Hey.
After 1.5 years of being under 100 on all posts, it feels weird to catch a reel that actually does well. Oh, that's exciting.
I mean, I wish I could give... Or you go.
No, I should say that's a milestone, though. Like, you hit a goal you've been wanting to hit.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting.
Social media is so bizarre right now, and especially in the art realm, I feel like our community has just been kind of fractured over the past few years. It was obviously, there's a lot of scandals in 2020, and then NFTs came out at the end of 2020, and then more recently, AI art has really divided our community. And then on top of all of this, Instagram decided to change its algorithm on us, and static images no longer do well on the platform. So it's we've had a lot of just heavy blows, honestly, and trying to adapt while still, just making the art that we want to. I think having small goals, and I've been doing the same specifically on Twitter, I think is a great way to not get overwhelmed by everything that's out there, and focusing on tangible, real goals that you can try to align yourself for hitting. So for you to hit that 100 and for that to be your first goal, that is great. And the next one I think should be 150, and try to build upon that. But try not to put too much pressure on if you don't hit it, it means you're a failure. I like to think of it as a small game. That's how me and my friends have been surviving without losing our minds, because it's very easy to lose yourself to I'm not good enough and nothing I do matters, blah, blah, blah. So instead, see it like a game, and try to have you and your friends win it together. So we have this whole thing with Twitter right now where we're trying to get ahead without it changing or dictating what we create. And it's more or less figuring out how to present it in the best manner that would get seen on these social media platforms. I might do a YouTube video sometime this winter on what I've learned with Twitter. A lot of the advice came from an artist named Devin L. Kurtz. She is very understanding of the new norms and social media uh, algorithm stuff and all that nonsense. And I might even ask her permission if I can make this video before I do it. But she taught me a lot about Twitter specifically, and I'm almost doubled my following on there. It's not a crazy following compared to my Instagram, but it feels substantial that you can actually see growth again, where Instagram, it just feels like this stalemate, and it just feels bad most of the time. When I go to Instagram, it just feels bad right now, which obviously isn't a great feeling to have.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think a lot of it too, just like lottery in a way, like just getting lucky with how it places you in the algorithm too.
Yeah, definitely with Twitter right now specifically, but that's kind of like the fun of it, is it doesn't really feel totally in your control. So when you don't do bad, you don't feel like this crushing sense of defeat. You're like, well, I just wasn't seen this time, and I'll pull the lottery slot that is social media, Twitter, next time.
Get lucky next time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. Elena says, "Oh, the book. Can I see where they can order that at?" Immediately looking. Liev says, "Dead plants are so scrumpily." I love them.
Oh, yeah, same. Honestly, I prefer drawing dead plants to live plants. That's why I threw a couple in to these studies today.
We were at out in the town the other day. We saw those cute little sunflowers, and I think some of the dead ones actually look really cool though too.
There's just so much character to the dead ones compared to the live ones. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like live flowers too, but there's something just intriguing about the dead specimen in terms of shape language and how do you capture the look of it.
I know. Actually, we're getting close to where everything's gonna start. Well, leaves haven't turned yet, but
No,
it's
I
gonna
still
start
think we
happening
have some
soon.
time.
Is it like usually early October it starts happening, or is it mid-October? I feel like mid-October.
I feel like every year it changes.
I know. Well, last year was weird because the leaves changed for like maybe a week, and they were already all falling off. So we didn't really get much
last
of
year
a, like,
sucked.
much of a fall. Yeah.
Our
This year
fall
might-
came and went.
This year might be better because it has been getting cooler earlier, which helps it. Oscar says, "My scooter died. Probably going to have to redo the study to get a fair chance." Oh.
Oh no.
I don't want to rush or half-ass these studies like I usually end up doing. Walking home now. Oh, Oscar.
Oh no. I'm sorry to hear that your scooter died.
Oh, so now you got to walk home too. After playing volleyball.
I know our volleyball season officially ended. We got 5th, which means we did not do very well this year. But you know what? It was a lot of fun, and I'm learning a lot for next year. I learned I can actually spike the ball.
Yeah, I was really impressed watching Tim. He had some plays where I was like, oh my gosh. That was actually...
For those of you who don't know, I used to play libero in high school, which means you're like a back row specialist in volleyball, which means you never really come to the front row. So doing this beach volleyball with my cousins, and then I learned it's like you have to play the whole rotation. It's like, all right, well, I have no idea how I'm going to do in the front row, just giving you a fair warning. But it actually wasn't that bad.
Let's see here. Is it Ruth? Ruth Art says, "I learned a lot in your stream. Thank you very much."
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Essie says, "It's kind of weird. Most artists have way less followers on Twitter than Instagram, but supposedly Instagram is kind of dying, especially Reels. I wonder if artists will start popping off on Twitter."
That's admittedly we've done a roundtable talk about this recently, and yes, we do think Twitter is actually going to be the future for artists. We're seeing more and more artists migrate to Twitter because they still allow you to do well with static images. We're on Instagram and TikTok, the other two leading platforms right now. I mean, besides Instagram, but like, come on. Twitter is the only one that will like allow you to just post a static image and still do well.
I wish they had a better way to like view I know they have the media thing so you can kind of see all the images, but I wish you could almost just have like a collection of just the photos.
I know, like a way to like zoom out almost on someone's photos.
Yeah, well, not even see text, just literally have a way to scroll through the photos. So essentially Instagram.
So you want Instagram.
Yeah, can Twitter just become Instagram?
Honestly, no. If Twitter adopted the video format...
No, yeah, that wouldn't be good.
You can do videos on Twitter, though, and they do fairly well for people. But the fact that you can still go low-key viral on Twitter with just an image is like our saving grace for artists right now.
I feel... Oh my god, sorry, I'm not even paying attention to time, but we're at 45 seconds. I'm so sorry, we're just chilling and talking. I'm gonna fix
Something else about these studies, and I'm realizing that with my first one here, is I drew them too big. For 10 minutes, you have to be a little better at managing your time. I mean, I was able to capture, I guess, the shapes of the flower, but I really wasn't able to detail or give much pizzazz to it as much as I would like. So this first one I'm going to chalk up to as the warm-up. It's not bad, but it's definitely a little too big for me to really put in some extra detail.
There's also the TikTok artists as well. TikTok's weird though. That's
TikTok is basically baby Instagram though. The only difference... Oh, time's up.
Time's up.
The only difference that makes TikTok nice right now is that you can still kind of go viral without having a lot of followers, and I think that is objectively more appealing to artists that don't have a following or younger artists. So yes, I actually think TikTok is more fun, but the theory that we're kind of tossing around right now is one Twitter follower equates to about 10 Instagram followers, which equates to about 100 TikTok followers. So if you have like 1 million TikTok followers, it actually is better to have 100,000 Twitter followers. There's more what we call like more weight to the follower. There's more of like a dedication to your craft, and people actually enjoy what you're creating more on Twitter, and they're more likely to comment or buy something or support your Kickstarter. But this theory is relatively new. I'll keep sharing with you guys anything new that me and my friends kind of toss around, or any numbers that we kind of figure out, because we can see the analytics behind everything. So I'll just keep sharing any new information that seems helpful.
That's so weird to me.
I know, it's a weird time we live in right now. Ah, yes, my dead leaves. Okay, these are fun. All right, you guys ready for dead leaves number 1?
All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Begin.
Actually, you know what might be kind of... No, I'll stick with my pencil.
This timer keeps changing like locations. It's so weird.
Oh, weird.
Right? It keeps like...
Well, you can't move the Google...
I didn't move it though.
Oh.
Yeah, like... It keeps changing its size. So I'll just keep adjusting with it. Yeah.
So, this one I'm going to try to actually be doing how I normally draw, which is kind of just let it grow from one point. Because I don't have to worry too much about how perfect the proportions are. I'm going to just have fun with today's studies. I can really put a focus more on the contrast that I'm creating, and letting the shapes and the language kind of speak for itself. What?
Liev's very happy about this one.
Who is?
Liev.
Well, I'm glad.
Baby scrunky leaves. This is what it's all about.
I'm telling you, I'm in that same camp as you. I love doing this kind of stuff.
Tim literally has a wand staff. He found one of these in the wild, and...
Whoa. In the wild, I found this in a graveyard, and it is the most, like, beautiful staff.
Oh,
it
yeah.
literally was, like, on the verge of me, like, halfway through Elden Ring, and I'm, like, super into, like, mythology of the flora in the world, and then finding this staff, it's actually... I'm gonna take the time even away from my drawing.
Well, you painted it, though, didn't you?
No, this is the original.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, you found another one that you painted? Was that it?
This one was in Ohio. Oh, look how, it was like a staff. It's beautiful. Look at this thing. So it's like gray husk, but then the inside is like this yellow hue. Oh, I love it so much. You can interpret this in so many ways, like a death wand. Oh, I should have done this as one of the studies today.
All right, Timmy. The timer is ticking.
Oh, I'm feeling so good today. I'm not even worried. I'm not even worried, I tell you.
That was for Liev, though, there. Some scrunky leaves.
Scrunky leaves. I love it, too. I'm with ya.
Levy says, I love a good crunchy leaf. This is a thing.
For artists, this is definitely a thing.
The crunchy leaves.
Technically, I think this is an orchid, because you can see what's that called on the floor? The piston? No. This part here, you can kind of see it. So it's not, I mean, it could be a leaf still. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure this is a dead flower.
It's kind of shaped like a bat or like a gargoyle to me.
Really?
Yeah.
No, these are definitely orchids or lilies.
Yeah. But doesn't it kind of look like a bat to you? Like, there's the head of the bat.
Oh, maybe.
And then, like, it's almost like a weird shaped bat, though.
I can kind of see
but
it.
The bottom part looks like the bat claws, even on the wing, how they stick out.
That's why, did you ever, God, we could go on such a tangent for this, but they say that if humans had wings, it would be more like a bat, where it would be just extensions of our arms, and the fingers would actually be each of the
Oh, yeah,
ribbon.
I've seen all those things where people say, because, like, we have the webbing between our hands, so we were...
Yeah, but bat wings are essentially, just imagine webbing on our fingers being extended to our nails. Those are their wings. So, like, their wings are just their arms and their hands.
So he could have evolved from bats, you're saying?
Yeah, that is exactly what I'm trying to say. Something else, too, I want to mention with doing studies like this is try to really understand why doing these are important for your own work, because even having all this, like, very crunchy, detail, noise, heavy, articulate areas, and then, you know, pushed right against these very simple and clean stems that are just shaped really thin and slender, and it creates this contrast between the two that's really lovely. And I think that's why this looks just so gorgeous aesthetically. And notice how the stems are also not perfectly straight either. They're a little bent, and they are just, you know, wobbly just ever so slightly. So it's very pretty.
All right, let's catch up on some things here. Levy says, while I don't really do the kind of art that would gain many followers on social media, I found it more difficult to gain any kind of followers on Twitter. It's really different from Instagram.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna shoot some tips at you. So if you want to take notes really quick, here we go. How much time do I got? Okay, so I got 4 minutes. All right, number 1, don't use hashtags on Twitter. I know it sounds crazy, but don't use them. The way to get seen and to get shared and get followers on Twitter is actually from getting reshares from people that have more followers than you do. And it's rare that you'll get it from a hashtag, unless it's like Portfolio Day or Artists on Instagram, like one that specifically has people looking at the hashtag. But normally people are just going to follow what other people that they already follow reshare. So don't use hashtags. Keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it relatable, and maybe add an emoji at the end, but that's it. We found that usually posts with like one word seem to do the best, followed by an emoji. So that's 1. 2, try to post between 5 and 7 p.m. Central Time, and that's for most of the people in the States. I mean, if you're looking to get more of an American audience, a lot of people get home after work around 5, and then it varies from East Coast and West Coast time, but usually that time slot is a pretty solid golden one to post in. 3, after you post your initial post, you're going to do what's called a bump. A bump is basically anything that adds value to the original post, and you want to do your first bump an hour after your first post, and it's something that adds value, whether it's a work in progress shot, whether it's a little writing about what you did. It could be a video response. And then the fourth thing is 24 hours after the initial bump. If the post did better than what is normally your average on Twitter, you're going to do a 24-hour bump. So it's a third post on one image, or the second post on one image, and I thought this was crazy when Devin was telling me all these tips. The first week that I tried it, my first 2 images each got over 10,000 likes, and I never get over like 200 before then, but I was using a lot of hashtags. I was doing low-key everything wrong. So hopefully those tips help any of you guys out that want to focus on Twitter as well, because I know that certainly really helped me. And it really gave me something to hold on to after Instagram was doing so bad, because we're still suspended on that account for posting the hangman from last year. So anyways,
Don't
that's
bring
all
that up.
Yeah, right.
Just about 2 minutes left. It's Audrey says, guess I'm going to make a Twitter now.
I'm telling you, I used to hate Twitter, like hate it, but it has become my like platform of choice now. Basically, if you don't want to see any of the political nonsense or people arguing any of the time, just mute all of them first off, and then keep saying not interested when you see them pop up on your feed. You could even, I changed my location for a long time to Quirks, South America, so that I would never see any of the America drama that was happening here. And now my feed is just amazing. It's like all art and video game news, and I actually like genuinely enjoy logging on Twitter. And stay active. Try to post, things that make you more of a human, so that people can connect with you on things outside of just your art.
Oh, hey, Alvin. Just lurking. No worries. Have
Hello,
fun.
hello.
Ella says, plant gargoyle, next year's Drawtober prompt. Hey, start it here.
We do have an idea for what we want to do next year. It was kind of Josh's idea, and we've been postponing it just because this year we really want to do the witch one, but I think we're going to...
I'm not mad about it. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm pretty excited for next year as well, but yeah, we can't reveal anything.
Yeah,
I was going to give
too
that's
early.
way too early.
We got to focus on this year. I still have to make all the songs for this year, so...
Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, the first one you got to have finished soon because Rachel needs to animate that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll probably do it some tonight, actually. Liev says, want to be a bat, snacks on fruit, and look spooky. It's basically Tim every Halloween season.
It's basically me every day. Eats fruit and looks spooky. Yeah, I can do that.
No, you don't normally look spooky. I'm not going to give you that one. But you do look spooky Halloween time.
I mean, I would say most days I do kind of look like a zombie. Like, come down in my sweatpants.
You're literally wearing...
Oh, I didn't even know where. I'm wasting my time.
All right, there we go.
Josh.
Am I supposed to tell you every second?
No, just 1 minute.
I said 1 minute.
Oh, then my bad.
Yeah, I think. I know I did 2 minutes. I gave you a 2 minute heads up, okay?
Oh, see, okay. You can tell between my first study and my second one. Look how much more clarity and Christmas I'm having. Christmas. Sounds like Christmas. I'm just having Christmas for Halloween. But I'm just having so much more clarity within my drawing because I'm doing it smaller. And with a 10-minute time span, you're able to capture more in that 10 minutes. Plus, doing like these crunchy dead leaves are really fun.
Oh, we should see how tiny you could draw something sometime. Keep the camera super zoomed in.
Yeah, do you see my Aquatica Nautica
Well,
upstairs?
yeah, but I mean just like the tiniest detail that you could make. And then you zoom out. And you're
we
like,
could do... Actually, I would almost want to make that a YouTube video where I have like a penny on the paper the whole time and I draw next to it.
I mean, Instagram reel idea for everyone. Draw something as tiny as you can and then zoom out. And so they can see the scale.
Literally not a bad idea. Or honestly, just draw the whole time next to the penny and then call it done. Like literally do a 7-second thing of you drawing and then put your pencil down, end the reel. Find a popular song. The things we have to do as artists nowadays to stay relevant.
I mean, that's content though.
Alright, I'm finally warm. Freddy Krueger's coming out. See, all I needed to do was draw some dead leaves.
Feeling hot now?
Oh, I'm feeling hot and not bothered.
Oh my god. Alright. Oh wait, I forgot to switch, sorry.
What's our next one?
Oh, I love these. More of those crunchies.
I know I picked them, so I shouldn't get so excited, but...
Oh, these are those things that you'll find in the ground all the time. Yeah, that's right.
These are lovely.
Oh my god, what helicopters? What do people call them, right? Because people used to throw them.
Actually, I'm curious if you're from other countries. What do you guys call these?
We used to, growing up, we called them helicopters.
Which is funny, I called them spinners.
Oh. Yeah, we did helicopters.
I feel like everyone has kind of a nickname for these.
It must be like a school by school basis, kind of.
Yeah.
Growing up, yeah.
Right.
All right.
All right.
Starting in 3, 2, and 1.
All right, once again, I'm going to try to stay relatively smaller here. I feel like I had a good time with my last one, so I'm going to try to recreate that.
Fox face.
Hello, hello.
Luna, hi. Got here a little late today. No worries. Didn't miss too much, just some crunchy leaves and some Twitter discussion. Leo says these are really solid notes. Thanks. I've been looking to focus more on Twitter lately. I like the engagement there a lot more.
Yeah, surprise. And you know what? Weirdly, TikTok's actually pretty good at engagement in terms of like people commenting. I don't know if it's because it's primarily a younger audience that people have more time to actually comment, because when you get to our age, I feel like people just want to look and like, and maybe they'll react with like an emoji. And I feel bad because I'm actually calling myself out too, but I know a lot of me and my friends nowadays, that's all we do when we comment, that if we like something, we'll like leave a heart. It's kind of super impersonal, but it says a lot depending on your age. But I feel like on TikTok and Twitter, people like really want to like engage in conversation, which maybe I'm just not used to being so on Instagram all the time.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Leo, this cracked me up. Yeah, let's go, crunch time, boys. These crunchy leaves.
Liam is Captain Crunch.
Yeah. I don't want to miss anyone's comments. Let's see. All right. Brittany says that's interesting. I don't really like Twitter, but now I understand why no one saw my stuff really. Gave up years ago on it.
Mm-hmm. Trust me, I feel you. I was so doubtful when Devin was telling me about Twitter and like trying to convince me to use it. I was like, Devin, I just don't know. Like, I've been using it for like 9 years and I just don't see results. And then she looked at my page. She's like, well, you're doing everything wrong. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Okay, well, I believe you, but what am I doing? And then that's when she explained all of this. And I was skeptical, but then the first week it worked. Here's the thing, though. That doesn't mean that every post I've done since then has been wildly successful. It means that it's a lottery that you play, and you try to put yourself in the best position possible for your stuff to be seen. But when it doesn't work, don't take it personally. It doesn't mean your art's bad. It doesn't mean anything besides the fact that it just wasn't your day. You know, the person that needed to reshare you didn't log on to Twitter that day or within that hour, you know.
Alvin says, asking what kind of theme of your wedding. Ooh, this is what I want to talk about.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think we're actually going to do a themed wedding. We talked about it. Not like going in costume or something, but we have the colors picked out what we want to do.
Well, I mean, yes. I don't want to confirm anything though yet. Like, what if in a year we decide of something better?
I mean, true. Because, yeah, the wedding won't be until probably 2025, we think.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still going to be, a couple of years still. We start actually, like, solidifying plans, but we're talking.
We're talking.
Right? Thinking about honeymoon plans, too.
Josh convinced me to do Disney.
Disney World.
Yeah. And it's so funny because I knock on Disney remakes and like the movies they make nowadays so much, but I look forward to going to Disney World. I know they're like pricing things like crazy out the wazoo.
I'm really hoping by the time we would go, they'd start lowering some of the stuff. We'll see.
No, it's only gonna get worse.
I know.
Actually, I just read a report. Well, not read. I saw a thing on TikTok where this girl was talking about the price inflation of Disney and why they're doing it, and it's because people are still buying it. So they like doubled in the last 4 or 5 years certain tickets of things and then certain food vendors, but they're not seeing a slowdown in the quantity of sales. So they're like, well, we're just going to keep raising it.
Well, I was pricing out, because Tim and I are going to have to save for this trip because this is a crazy one. We're thinking, though, because from the wedding, obviously you get cash. We could use some of that towards it, too.
And I have a really big family.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I was pricing out, though. I was trying to look at tickets right now. So I was thinking we'd go for 10 days. A 10-day ticket for individually was like $650 for 10 days with park hopper. That's going off season. So I was like, that's actually not as bad as I was expecting.
That's not terrible.
I was expecting it to be like $1,500 or something each. So $600 each wasn't too bad, but still, that's crazy for a park ticket. That's just to get in. That's not your food, your lodging, any of that. Ella says Tim's gonna draw some corn next and add the corn song to trend on TikTok.
In my true millennial fashion, I was late to the trend with the whole corn thing. I didn't really understand it. And then one day I actually logged into TikTok and I was like, oh, everyone's using the corn song.
The corn song.
Everyone. It's weird. Like, I feel weird about fads and like making your work and art fit whatever fad is to like use the song, or I don't know, I just feel weird about it because then I feel like, are we just producing work based on what's trending and fashionable rather than like making work that we feel might actually speak to us? I don't know.
I mean, the song's catchy. We had a discussion though too about, it's kind of weird, like when you're a kid you kind of just say crazy stuff like that sometimes, and it's weird to see this like this kid now, his entire life is going to be known as Corn Kid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of weird to think that like that's what it's, this one little video. I hope it works out well for him though. Like I hope there's some success from it because I mean there's music now, there's all these things. So I'm hoping there's some form of like compensation for all of this now. I don't know though.
I mean, he'll go on talk shows and it's very weird.
Yeah. Yeah, the kid's adorable. I agree, Ella. All right, let's see. We're down to 3 minutes, Tim.
Okay.
Keeping you updated on that.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. These leaves. I don't remember what we called them, but we would open up the thicker part where the seed is because it's sticky and then put it on the nose and become a rhino.
What?
Oh.
That's a thing? That's cute.
We call the seeds of another tree helicopters. I wonder if that's what I'm thinking about. Because they spin better.
Well, these spin pretty well, right?
These ones I'm thinking are the ones that are more like flimsy. The ones I'm thinking about are shaped very similar, almost like a boomerang shape. But I feel like they had more of a like thickness to them. Oops. I don't know though. I felt like these look like them, but maybe it is something different I'm thinking of.
I think these are them.
Because I remember we would like see how far you could throw it. Maybe. Felix is here. Hello, Felix.
Hello,
Sorry
Felix.
I'm late. Hi, everyone. No worries.
Felix just finished a pretty big illustration.
Ooh.
So congrats, Felix, on that. It's always a good feeling.
Barbara says, in Dutch, the tree they're from is called esdoorn, and the seeds are called smara, or winged nut. But I also always called them little helicopters.
Well, that's cute.
They're so much fun. The simple things we found joy in as kids. Throwing this little leaf around. You call them spinners, though?
Spinners.
Wow. That was like pre-fidget spinner days, too. Levi says, I'm wondering if having a consistent look or style to your art helps on Twitter. From my understanding, that helped on Instagram since people would look through your feed for more of the same.
Yes.
1 minute, by the way.
Actually, good. I'm glad you brought that up. And when you reshare things, be sure that it's kind of in the same vein as what work you do. And it doesn't even have to be like, if I'm only doing pencil drawings, it doesn't mean I only have to reshare other fantasy pencil artists. It could be other like fantastical imagery that is done with watercolor or whatever, as long as it kind of fits the tone and the mood of your page. And be careful when you reply to things and when you reshare things because it'll show up in your media. And if people want to follow you, but then they get really annoyed because you're posting too much stuff that's not your art, they might not follow you because of it. So just be careful.
TP says, all right, 10 seconds. Actually, I know I'm going to hold off 1 second until we get this switched. 3, 2, 1. Gorgeous. Perfect. Yeah,
all right, what's the question?
So
and I might
right.
darken some of the edges while we're answering this one.
My wife bought your work at ECC. You two are super cool and continue the great work. Also, my favorite is still the tree spirit drawing. Oh,
thank you. Yeah, Ascension is definitely one of the most popular drawings I've ever done. I don't think that'll ever get out of circulation at cons because it is the one that actually people ask me the most about in terms of what is its story, too. So thank you.
Ascension is so good. I love
that one was so much fun.
your gold leaf canvas of that one. Tim does like a really immaculate gold leaf on the back of it. It's really pretty.
Actually, you know what might be kind of cute? Hold on. I'm going to use this pumpkin topper really quick.
Oh.
Ta-da. Oh, I missed the center.
It's fine.
I feel like whenever No, that looks terrible.
Oh, Tim.
No, I just got to lower it a little bit. See, this is what I get for drawing at the angle. I'm telling you guys, when I'm not drawing on a live stream, my drawings definitely don't look as long because I can't work with the drawing right under my eye level. I'm always looking at it at a slant angle. Oh, even that's off. Tim, get it together. We're live.
We're live.
Let me try one more time. And if this doesn't work, then I need to practice my circle making skills.
Actually, I kind of like the double circle.
No.
I'm unfollowing you.
If it looks more intentional, maybe. Josh and I also just watched The Black Phone, and we got a lot of hype about this horror movie, and it was just okay.
It's okay.
It was just okay.
Yeah.
But I did have Josh watch It Follows. I think It Follows is like one of the better ones in the last 10 years of horror. So if any of you watch horror movies, I think It Follows is a good watch. It breaks their own rules, which is frustrating.
I definitely want to discuss it afterwards. Once we start the next thing as well. Yeah. Wait, is it spoiler? When's the time that you don't have to worry about spoilers anymore?
I feel like you can never talk about it.
Well,
see, look how good that looks. I like the little, connects it. Okay, sorry about that. Let's go on to the fourth one.
All right.
How many are we doing?
Much
8?
fun.
Trying to decide if I can do all these on the same page. Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, 8 total.
Oh, this one's going to be a little harder.
All right. This is our halfway drawing. Maybe do a little bathroom break after this one?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Ready,
everyone,
Freddy.
pencils at the ready, and 3, 2, 1.
Levi did the concept art for the mask on the Black Phone. Oh, wait. Literally, that's definitely the best part of the movie. You worked with Tom Savini? Wait, Tom Savini worked? I'm sorry. I need to, work on this. Tom Savini is, a master of horror production. What? You did the concept art for that, Levi? Oh, that's so...
Actually,
literally,
the
that's my favorite
the
part.
best part, yeah.
Oh, my God. That's awesome. Are you able to show it? Is that NDA, or can you post it? I would love to see it. I loved, obviously, the changing masks, but specifically the one that I think that was most effective is there's a time where he comes down when the boy is, lying to him, and he finally catches the boy lying because there's this whole thing about being, a good boy versus a bad boy, or, naughty. I don't want to spoil too much. But he's standing on the stairs, and he's a silhouette because it's lit from behind, and you can't see him. And then once he figures out that the boy is lying, he takes a step forward, and his mask is the frown one. So he was planning on the boy lying to him, And I thought it was just a really clever use of the prop to tell the story without having to say anything. Yeah, I thought the mask was the best part of the movie. It was competently shot, I would say.
Oh, Levi says, I can show it. It's fairly simple, but it's on my Twitter.
Oh, yes. I will definitely check this out.
Let's see here. Felix says, I have sketches for all the Drawtober prompts, and I'm halfway done with Garden of Magic.
Yeah, I'm...
Dang, Felix. And you finished up your other thing, too, so you've been, like, going to town.
I'm deciding I need to do a prologue to my Drawtober manga, so I'm on the 4th page of the prologue, and then I'll start on Garden of Magic.
Tim does these things to himself.
I have no one to blame but myself on this one. I just feel like if I'm going to tell a story that feels competent, I need to, like, give some context before diving in.
Ooh, excuse me. Brittany says, I just had my first sketch more or less done. And then Alice says,
for the
she goes on the
studies?
same. No, I think for Drawtober.
Oh,
Am I correct?
gotcha.
Yeah. I know I have... Well, I did the promo song, and then I finished the Candlelit Covens. I did the last song first, which was kind of stupid on my part, but I was just feeling that one the most.
Yeah, actually, that's like the one that we'll be home for, have plenty of time. Like, the first 3 were kind of, like, gone.
Yeah. We'll see. Actually, it's weird because Garden of Magic is, like, for some reason, the hardest one in my head to make a song to. But I think I have some ideas going forward, so.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Josh does all the music arrangements for Drawtober. So he creates them all with his piano, and there's, 7 a year that you have to do?
Yeah, because the promo and then... It'll be fine. Levi says, also congrats on being engaged. I just got engaged this year myself, and we're hoping for a 2023 wedding on honeymoon to Scotland. Ooh.
Oh, see, Scotland's also where I want to go.
Definitely really want to go to Scotland.
Well, congrats for you as well.
Yeah. So you guys are doing it the way we wish we could have done it, but we feel like we're going to wait just a couple years.
Well, I think the context for that is, like, my family alone is probably 170 people if we're including the kids. So it's going to be a really big wedding, but the problem is Josh's parents won't even be there. My parents are poor, so who's going to pay for it? So we're just going to save up some money and try to have the wedding that we want to have and do it the way we would like to do it.
We're just going to do it's going to be a big party.
Yeah.
Felix says, well, I mean, when I say sketches, I mean like 20 minutes each, so I'm not that far in. Oh, the poor corn kid. Oh, I was famous when I was younger. Yeah, I liked corn. That was my thing.
But seriously, that's what he's going to be known for.
It is very bizarre, yeah. I feel like, yeah, because think about all the things you said as a kid, and if people are just filming things like that, and all of a sudden you went viral as a kid for just one little thing you said, part of me is like, I don't know if I wanted to grow up being, like, known as that one thing I said as a kid.
I think the other part that makes it worse is, like, it's not that he was filming it himself to, like, try to make content from. It was like he was interviewed at a, state fair or something?
Yeah.
So he's definitely going to be pressured into making his own, like, social media account, TikTok, whatever, and try to make content that follows up. And you just know in, like, 5 years he's going to make the videos of, like, remember when I was that kid type video. And I feel for him because I hope this doesn't dictate his sense of worth in, like, trying to recreate that magic of going viral when he was, a child. So I think that pressure is just, it's crazy. I mean, most of us can't even handle the pressure with our own little social media accounts, but to garner, like, millions upon millions upon millions of views on one video that you made without any intention of, like, going viral or for it to, like, get big on the internet.
Yeah, well, like Target Boy.
Oh, yeah, Alex.
Yeah, Alex from Target. I mean, that was just weird to think about. Like, he was just working at his job and all of a sudden was, like, super viral overnight. Elena says, I just remember this one woman from Finland going viral like over 10 years ago for saying something in a lot of languages on a video. She tried to chase that success to the States and came basically drained by the industry and how she became so irrelevant so fast.
Yeah. That's why they say fame is worst. There's a quote. It's like, fame is the worst when it's a quick burn. It's something about like, when it happens overnight, it's like the worst type of fame. Where if it's a slow, steady growth, it feels earned. You can have your hills and valleys. You can, take time off if you need it. So I really, really do feel for those who just, garner that overnight success. I can't even imagine what that must feel like.
Felix says, by the way, thanks everyone for the response to my Mater Alios painting. It feels so gratifying to feel like you're doing your best work.
Yeah, that was really good.
Wishy says, we would make a mustache. Oh, out of the last plant we had.
Yeah.
I gotta do some catching up. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
that's
this
cute.
I think is a
Like a
fake
little
plant.
mustache.
Oh my god, I included a fake plant in our foliage studies?
You know what? They're very viable,
Oh my gosh.
How do you tell?
The stem, it's wrapped paper.
Oh.
The flower
my
was,
God.
it fooled me.
Is this truly a foliage study?
No. It's foliage and paper plant study. God, the plant parts look so real, but yeah, that.
Oh,
stem
paper
is
plants
definitely-
though. I have a book on how to make them. They look so good. If you make like a homemade paper plant.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks. Levi. Oh yeah, the concept art. I think that's so cool though that you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like working in the horror industry, I want to at one point in my life do some kind of concept art or a poster or something. So if anyone knows of anything that needs like a poster or like, I don't know. I honestly, if it was the right project, I would even do it for free. I think I would just be so enamored with the idea of like actually doing it. It's kind of like how every fantasy artist wants to do a magic card, even if they don't play magic. It's just like a bucket list achievement.
1 minute left. I know you really want to do that. Hopefully there will be something for sure, especially because if you really want it. Yeah.
It's just timing. It'd be weird timing right now, but like this winter, I think I might start reaching out to some places.
Felix says it follows is great in the first half, but kind of falls apart in the end for me.
Agreed.
That's how I felt watching it.
When it starts breaking its own rules, I get kind of upset. I mean, that's for any movie. I kind of felt the same. Did anyone see Soul from Pixar? I like it overall, but I have so many problems with it because it breaks its own rules. It's like one of the things is you can't go to Earth if you don't have this Earth pass, but early in the movie, this hippie guy basically rips a tear in the universe open and the main characters just go back to Earth. And then later in the movie, they're like, we don't know how to get back to Earth and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you literally did it earlier in the movie. What do you mean you don't know how to do it without an Earth pass? Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize we were out of time.
Astrid. She's meowing away over there.
Ooh, that one was tough for me. I think I was trying to do too much in too little time.
Looks good.
The only thing is, this looks really off.
Because you didn't get here yet either, did you?
No, well, I didn't want to like interfere with that flower.
You're really tightly packing these.
Well, I forgot there's 8 of them. I was thinking there were 6, and I was like, okay, I'll do 3 on the top.
I guess, do you need a bathroom break? Are you good?
Oh, we'll give everyone else a bathroom break.
Okay.
I think I'm good. Do you
good?
go to the
I'm
bathroom?
going to go use the bathroom break. If I get the chance.
All right, where were we on
So
questions?
we are on Felix. Scroll up a little bit. It follows. I read that one already, so then you can just keep moving down from there.
All right, perfect. Let's see here. Elena says, by the way, I just literally ordered botany for the artist to my house. Have been looking for a good book on botanical art, so had to jump on it as soon as you brought it on screen. Yeah, so for those of you who didn't or weren't here earlier, this is my favorite Foliage Flora book. I just got it actually like a few months ago, and I haven't had a lot of time to look through it. But the reason I like it so much and why I recommend it is not only do they talk about like obviously flowering plants, but they go into bark, lichens, mushrooms, and like the way that the things are drawn. Let me find a good example again. Oh wait, Josh forgot to set the halfway timer. We'll start it at 4 minutes. There we go. You guys got 4 minutes till our next one. It really goes through different types of leaves, the growing patterns. Oh, here we go. So you can see how sometimes the artist renders out the areas of leaves, and other times they'll keep it more light and more loose and sketchy. And I actually really, really like that. And they'll even talk about like how to draw the leaf at different angles. So a lot of artists always draw leaves like straight on or slightly tilted. But if you think about it, it's really a combination of it kind of being tilted toward the camera so much like a 90-degree angle that creates like this flat line almost. And you want like a bunch of those interacting with one another to create the illusion of foliage. So yeah, this book is great. Highly, highly recommend it, especially if you are a botanical artist. Yeah, like this is a creature. This thing is crazy. Love it. Okay. Well, we got 3 more minutes. See, I was
Do you
right.
want more water?
Yeah, actually, could you? Thank you. Leva says, I posted the Twitter link above. Oh, where is it? Leva, I don't see it. You know what? I'm sure I can find you if I just Google it really quick. Or you just Levi Simpson on Twitter. So I try to watch almost entirely horror movies in the fall. So I am now on like that binge. I re-subscribed to Shudder. We've been watching. Oh, yeah, they are. Do you know what is lovely about these is it reminds me so much of the PS2 era of concept art where I really liked it. Yeah, this is great. It gives me such like a Twisted Metal Black vibe. And that was one of my favorite games growing up. Actually, still to this day, one of my favorite games. But if any of you have like good horror movie recommendations that you've seen recently, I would love to know because that is what we are binging right now. Actually, I'm going to give you a follow, Levi. Love to see what other work you do. That's great. All right, where? Oh no, the chat jumped. I mean, kind of crazy that you're on the stream where you did the concept art for the film and we literally just watched the movie. That's awesome. Because of the current development with climate change, Tim now has to show you how to draw fake flowers. Yeah, fake news, fake flowers, just fake social media. Oh yeah, why did you're right, the timer did jump.
See what I mean? Did you move it?
No, I don't think I did.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was that.
Oh my god.
Ah!
I'll fix it.
Fix it. Oh, Sean Price is here. I got a project for you. Can't pay, but great exposure. Sean is one of my best friends. He is a wonderful artist. You should check him out. It's Art of Price on any social media, specifically Twitter. He's trying to bump that up. Shout out to Sean.
Shout out to Sean.
I have no idea what you're talking about, though.
He's got a project for you, Tim. I love the pumpkin in the background.
Which? Oh, my pumpkin boy. Yeah, isn't he great?
No, it's about this pumpkin.
He literally I found at a thrift store, and he is just beautiful. Or it was an antique store. He's beautiful. Love him.
Or if you're talking about this pumpkin, this is the one I made. Tim goes for the one that looks clearly better. There's 2 pumpkins in the background, Tim.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Josh knitted me this little pumpkin beauty. That's why it sits on my shelf with all my other good things. Oh, wait. Okay, literally, everyone, before we start the next round,
Oh my
do you guys see this? Confusing, right? What is this coffin full of weird things? So I found this on Etsy. It's literally, here, I'm going to zoom in because this, I think, is so fun. So I grew up with every single book of Goosebumps as a kid, and the book covers are actually one of the main things that inspired me to be an artist, and definitely inspired me to be more into like Halloween and spooky things. Two of my costumes growing up were actually giant books that I drew with markers, and it was The Night of the Living Dummy 2 and Deep Trouble, and I found this online, and literally it's like miniatures of all the Goosebump books of the original series. So oh yeah, this was one of the books I was. So I literally drew this book with markers as like 11-year-old. I know you can
the camera's
barely see
like,
it.
what is this?
But it definitely like inspired my love of not only Halloween season, but the way that the paintings were drawn on the covers. It's by an artist named Tim Jacobus, and the fact that he had the same name as me, I don't know. I just found it inspiring, and I felt like it was meant to be. It was like that gut intuition feeling. Oh, you know what, Josh? Could you check the door? I think my dad might be at the door. Oh no, he thinks we're doing some more yard work today in the front yard, but I think he came a little early. I told him after I streamed. Oh, it is him. Oh no. Okay. Dad, 2:30. If that works, thank you.
I'm so sorry. Oh, no problem at all. Yeah, see you a little bit.
Oh, no. I feel bad. I feel like I did specify yesterday, but he may have forgot.
Oh.
That's okay.
Okay, we're good. That's fine.
You ready?
Oh.
You know what? I'll show you guys next time. Let's do this. Number 5.
Okay. Actually, I have to run to the post office after this, too, to drop off all the orders. All right.
Guys, ready to do some shrooms with me?
3, 2, 1. Begin.
See, I'm going to draw it here. So the reason I wanted to do this shot of the mushrooms is because we're so used to seeing them horizontal and flat, but I think it's a good study in capturing the underside and all the, I don't know what the specific scientific term for all like the spindle or all the threading that goes underneath the mushroom, but I think trying to like capture that would be a good study. So obviously you don't have to draw all of them if you don't want to, if you want to have focus on some of the texture on 1 or 2 of them. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet. I'm just going to let the pencil guide me.
Oh, I feel sneeze. It's Audrey says, any plans to watch The Barbarian?
Yeah, because apparently it claims to be the scariest movie in years. We'll see if they can hold that claim to be true.
I don't, know about that.
Really? You haven't seen the teaser for it?
No.
I feel like I'm getting plastered with it on Instagram right now.
Oh, that's right. That's one with the guy. She goes to the rental place. The guy's already there. Is that one out? Is it only in theaters? Or is it...
I actually don't know.
Would you see it in theaters?
So it's funny. Even though I watch a lot of horror movies, I'm actually kind of a big wuss.
Why is it just going... Like, but you watch it at home, it's the same thing. Is it because it's the big screen, it's in the dark room?
I don't know. I mean, I would do it, but I'd be very nervous.
Next week's Tuesday, perhaps?
I mean, maybe, yeah. Oh, there's another movie, though, I wanted to go... Oh, we'll talk about that later.
Okay. Oh, excuse me. Levi says, I honestly can't believe that was the movie you brought up. I don't get to catch these as much as I like as I'm at work. Oh.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
that was cool. No, the...
Oh, yeah.
The phone, yeah.
No, like, literally crazy timing.
Jonathan. Oh, hey, Jonathan. Jonathan Liddell.
Hey,
our
Jonathan.
Scottish friend.
We'll get to see you next month.
Handed it pumpkins, take the prize.
The what?
The hand-knitted pumpkin takes the prize. Thank you.
Oh, hand-knitted,
A lot of
yes.
love and work put into that.
Uh,
Jonathan says, no way, Goosebumps mini books. Oh, those are so cute.
know.
That was a good find.
Casper? Oh, it's
No, it's
Astrid.
Astrid.
What?
Oh, she's just snuggled up with your stuff.
Oh, the cats.
What was that?
Oh, it's her. I don't know what she's doing.
No, she's not doing that. That sounds something different.
Oh.
I don't know what that is.
Anyways.
Barbara says, I recommend The Haunting, the original, already, but I think you'll love The Innocents as well, based on The Turn of the Screw. Deborah Kerr is wonderful.
Oh, wait. Turn of the Screw. Literally, Audrey Benjaminson just did an alternative book cover for that. And I'd never heard of that before. Is that like a known publication that I'm just unaware of? Have you heard of Turn of the Screw before?
No, I've heard of The Innocents before, though.
I've heard of Innocence.
Yeah. So that's based off of the... Is Turn of the Screw, is that a book?
Yes.
Okay.
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Okay. Well, it's an 1898 horror novel.
Oh.
Wow. No, yeah, I don't know anything about that, though. Just heard about it today. Let's see. Sean asks, did you enjoy the movie, The Black Phone? Katie and I saw Bodies, Bodies, Bodies last night. It was just fine with some good dialogue sprinkled in.
And that's on my list because it's like a comedy horror. That's the one with Pete Davidson.
Oh, yeah.
And like they get high on something and then a horror game like commences similar to like The Visitors apparently. But it's also a whodunit.
Is that the one with like Machine Gun Kelly? It's like a
I don't know.
hodgepodge cast.
I want to say yes. But it's another A24 one. I would say Black Phone was competent, but it doesn't really do anything that new in my opinion. But I thought Ethan Hawke did a great job, and I thought the mask design, which is bizarre that the concept art for the actual mask is here, because I thought that was admittedly the best part for me. I would say it's worth a background watch, like if you're doing something and you need something on in the background. Yeah, I would say it's worth it. But I've been trying to watch, or like I've been making a list of more of these 80 movies that I've been recommending, or being recommended by. If any of you follow or are subscribed to Shudder, they have this like best 80s movies, or what is it called? In Search of Darkness. And it's a 2-part documentary series, and they're each like 3 to 4 hours long. They're very, very long documentaries. And they just like go through a bunch of movies that were made in that era, in that decade. And I've been just writing down ones that I want to watch. And there's some classics that I haven't even seen, like The Fly, and new ones I've never heard of that seem kind of goofy, kind of campy, but I still want to watch it, like They Live. So we'll see.
And then in terms of if we liked Black Phone, it was okay. Like we were talking earlier, like the mask and a lot of those designs were really good. The interaction between characters felt really forced. So it was like, it was okay.
It's just
I
sadly
liked
one of those
parts of it.
things where my favorite film reviewer is YMS on YouTube, and he always talks about how having children in movies is such like a risk, and if you cannot get them to deliver their lines in a way that feels genuine, or like that kids would actually talk that way, it just feels like the director using them as a plot device rather than them being actual like children saying these things naturally.
I mean, being a kid actor in general that's got to be so hard, because they're not in a point yet where they're like, they don't really fully understand it yet. So that's hard to direct them.
It's hit or miss though, because sometimes while watching Black Phone, I actually thought the kids did a really good job in some scenes. Like the main character, I actually thought the boy did a really good job in some of the scenes. But in particular, the one in the bathroom with the other little boy that like was washing the blood off his hands, that conversation felt very much like the director doesn't understand how kids talk.
Yeah.
And I almost don't blame the kids, I blame the writing more. So, but they always say a good director can get a good performance out of the actor.
I mean, The Fall.
Yeah, the fall they literally just like let the girl be herself and like ad lib a lot. And if you guys haven't seen the fall, literally it's like tied in my top 3 favorite movies of all time. It's a movie by Tarsum. It is so good. But the fact that the lead is a child and it never feels like it detracts or like lessens the experience is just wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Jonathan, the Herald for yard work, Tim's dad, they've been going to town on the front yard, which has been really nice.
Mm-hmm. Been saving that apple tree.
It's Audrey says, Tubi also has some really good horror movies and it's free. Oh, I don't think I've heard of Tubi. All these names.
Tubi. I've never heard of Tubi.
Putting that one down, though. We'll take any more options we can get. Ella says, the way this photo is taken, it makes it look like the mushrooms are huge.
Mm-hmm.
Especially out with the little ones there, too. It just makes those bigger ones feel massive.
Well, I was looking this morning for obviously different foliage, and then I was looking for mushrooms, and this one definitely stood out to me. I was like, oh, I've never seen a shot where like all the mushrooms you can see underneath the caps. So I was like, it has to be that one. That's the one. You're the one.
Levi says, I believe in a mushroom, those are called gills.
Oh, are they really?
Oh.
I mean, they definitely look like gills.
All right, down to 50 seconds left.
No, I was having fun with this one.
It's Audrey says, I think horror movies are so fun in theaters. I agree.
They are. Don't get me wrong. I like the experience. I just get like genuinely scared.
I have some, it's so funny because I've been in theaters before too, where it's like, it's fun having the audience's reactions along with you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it like makes it more exciting then too. Like you get almost more tense because you can feel everyone else's tension.
I have also been in a theater though where I feel like the audience ruined it.
10 seconds.
When people are just shouting at the screen like, you idiot, or whatever.
I mean, yeah, that's extra, but when you get those people that are just like, oh! Like,
it's only happened to me once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I was actually liking this one. No.
Too bad, we're on to the next.
I actually might work on this one a little after. Alright, you can change it,
Alright, I'm changing it. Ooh.
See, I think I was drawing them too big. Alright, that was number 5. What's this one? Oh, this one was recommended by one of the users on our Discord, so I decided to throw it in there.
Ooh, I like it.
Actually, this one I can do on the side. Little cute little plant thing.
Oh, Jonathan said it out. Lots of love from Scotland. Need to bounce back to work. See you next month. Yes, we'll see you next month, Jonathan.
See you next month, Jonathan.
So excited.
Alright, ready.
Alright, ready? 3,
Ready.
2, and 1. Begin.
Okay. So when drawing things like moss or things that have a lot of texture, I try to simplify the shape as much as possible with kind of an irregular edge. Now, I don't usually draw a lot of this kind of textury motif because I'm usually drawing things that are like highly detailed and more intricate. So the trick here will definitely be to simplify.
Oscar says, can we please draw daisies and overbloomed dandelions? Oh, and ivy.
Honestly, I would definitely be down to do another foliage study like this in the winter.
It'd be a nice little reminder of greenery for us.
When I think too, like these kind of study streams are typically a little easier for me to do live, where sometimes when I'm doing the creative ones and trying to talk and I have like 2 hours, I feel like it can be a little more difficult, but these are more like fun. I can interact more. I feel like I'm lighter because there's not as much pressure. So yeah, I would definitely do more of these.
These almost have like the pine looks.
It's like a little pine tree coming out of it.
Yeah. Ella says, are you planning on drawing that for an illustration, Oscar? Oh, did not have to read the one out loud, sorry. Lena says, you might have heard the turn of the screw through it being the loose basis for the haunting of Bly Manor. Oh, that was the season you watched.
Oh, did not know that.
Loose basis, but
I mean, Josh always tells me the first one's the better one.
yeah. I mean, I liked Bly Manor. I don't think you were like okay with it. You were.
I was okay with it, but it once again had that same thing where the children or child actors I think can really take me out of my like the suspension of disbelief. I feel like it's broken way easier if I feel like there's a child who feels like they're force acting.
Oh yeah, because Tim did not like the girl.
Simply splendid.
I think it worked because she's supposed to be this like very prim and proper raised child. I thought it actually worked, but you felt like it was force acting for some reason.
I did not care for it. Well, I actually didn't mind the story that much. I just didn't like the child actor.
I mean,
like I said, if it feels forced to me, I just, it pulls me so out of it. And I do remember this kind of being on the verge where we were joking how everything's gay on Netflix nowadays. And then we were like, oh, well, this one's not. And then it ended up being gay. And we're like, why? Why does Netflix feel this need to, like... I know that inclusion is great, but as a gay person, I'm like, it's too much. It just feels like you're trying to grab money or you're trying to grab the demographic. It doesn't feel genuine all the time. And when it doesn't feel genuine to me, that's another thing that will like pull me so far out when I feel like I just see money signs in the producer's eyes. I'm like, oh, nope, I'm out. Nope.
All I'm saying is the first season I really enjoyed, though.
I do want to watch the first one.
I think it had a lot of the creepiness that I think you would like to. Ella says, yeah, that's a big pet peeve for me when kids are sounding very old. I don't mind if the acting isn't perfect because they are kids, but don't make a kid sound like a know-it-all with the vocabulary of an 80-year-old.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That was the Black Phone. There's just a couple interactions that were like, this just feels like two adults talking to each other. It doesn't feel like two kids. It felt weird.
I don't know if I felt that as much, but it just felt like the director didn't know how kids talk.
I mean, yeah.
Because kids aren't that, like...
Him doing the, like, Kobe shot into the toilet. It was so, like...
Well, that actually I didn't mind, because that
really?
seems like that's something kids do.
I don't know. It felt real forced.
I mean, think about, do you know how many times they, like, do this, or, like, she, or, like, things that are popular, trendy, and they, like, Kobe.
I think because the kid's character, though, didn't feel like someone that would do that. Because he had a little bit of unsureness with himself. I don't know. It's fine.
Maybe.
That's just getting nitpicky, though. Felix says, I went to bed at 6 a.m. yesterday and feel so tired. Is this what it's like being old? I feel like this used to be no big deal for me.
6 a.m.? Holy jeez, Felix.
Well, I mean, let's push that back a few more hours, maybe?
I mean, yeah, that's pushing it for sure. I don't know if it's old. I think that's like a natural...
There was a time for me when I had a later job, so I would get off work at like 2 and then I would stay up till like 7 a.m. or 8 and then sleep all day. But you don't feel good.
Mm-mm.
Levi says, real quick back to Twitter, when you mentioned a bump post, would that be a post as a reply to your original post? That's what I'm guessing you mean.
Yeah, so whenever you're doing a bump, it's the 24-hour one and the 1-hour one, you want to reply to yourself. It'll feel really weird at first, but it works. And what me and my friends were doing, especially in late spring, early summer, is we would have a chart where we would all post when we're posting, what we are posting, how many likes and how many retweets was it at 1 hour and 24 hours. And then we would post how many followers we had before and after the post. And we were just trying to, be little detectives and Sherlock Holmes. How do we, figure out what works, what doesn't? So if you have a group of friends that are willing to do this with you, that really helped me see from like an analytical side of what seems to be working and what definitely does not seem to be working.
I think if you could make a video on it,
I think I need to make a video on it.
Because there are some cool resources and stuff, too, that help you really start studying it.
Yeah, there's, like, Social Blade. Yeah, actually, I can talk more about that in the video.
Yeah. Well, it's Social Blade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Some of those, I never knew those existed. It's crazy, though, because you can actually research what's working for other people.
Yeah, I know. One little last bit of advice for Instagram specifically. My friend Devin, she kind of got me into doing this too, is when you see a post go viral on Instagram, save it to a folder. And if you have a folder of just like what trended popular for people, and it doesn't mean that they just have 30,000 likes and that automatically means it's popular. No, no, no. You got to see how many followers they have and the ratio to that. So if they get 30,000 likes but they have 1 million followers, that's actually not that great. But if they have 30,000 likes and only 12,000 followers, that's an amazing post. So it's all relative, and you got to look at the stats for what is working really well for people. And obviously, this is very annoying that we even have to do this. So I don't want to make it sound like, oh, this is how you get popular and this is really fun. No, this sucks. I don't like doing this kind of stuff. Maybe in my early Instagram days it was more fun where I can like see, okay, these are the hashtags that worked well, but it was very easy. Now you like really have to do some investigation to figure out what works and what doesn't.
Well, and it's still not like 100%.
No.
Yeah, so it just, I don't know.
And then as soon as you find a trending music, you better make a reels with that within like the next 48 hours or else it won't be a trending music thing anymore. Trust me, if any of you are hearing this and like that sounds terrible, it is terrible. But like finding your balance and what you can do and what feels okay without burning you out, that's where you want to find, that limit.
How can I get that? Yeah, if you guys are referring to, it's called Social Blade.
Sadly, it's like there is a free version of it, but it gets you just enough. I paid for it so I can keep track of things. Although honestly, I haven't even been using it that much lately because we've been gone at con so much, and I feel like once you kind of find a flow with social media, you can kind of stay on that way for a little while without having to do too much new research. But you still have to try to stay relevant, and that's where it gets a little frustrating. So just know, if you're frustrated at social media, it's literally almost every artist right now, and we're all struggling together. Actually, it's not even artists, because our best friend, Kat, she's a fitness trainer, and even for her, Instagram has been really bad this past year, even though on like YouTube and TikTok, she's seen really good growth. So just know. We're all struggling.
We're all in this together.
High School Musical.
10 seconds left. Hurry up, Tim. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Oof. I really wanted to like draw each of the pine needles, but I feel like that was very time consuming. That's okay. I wanted to at least try it. Okay, we got 2 left, guys. 2 left. Are you ready? Ooh,
oh, another crunchy one.
Here we go. Where's Crunch Master? Captain Crunch in the comments. You ready for this one?
Captain Crunch. All right. Here we go.
Oh, I'm going to have so much fun with this one.
Everyone stretch.
Actually, yeah. Everyone get a good hand stretch. I like to do this one. Hold it for 10 seconds. We're going to do 2 more. You ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
And then the next one, I guess, okay, have your hands straight out, thumb in, wrap your hands around your thumb, specifically on the hand that you draw with, and then pull it back. Use your other hand and literally pull just slightly until you feel that stretch. Don't over pull it. So you pull it. Or is that as far as you can go? Oh. You should feel it on this side of the arm and a little bit on the inside of the forearm.
Mostly on the outside for me. Oof.
All right, last one is grab your thumb again, and then literally we're going to pull down. So if this is your resting here, you want to pull it down. And then kind of move it slightly side to side like this. And you should feel that stretch kind of in the top part of your forearm and a little bit in the inside here. There we are. All right. Actually, we should do that during the breaks of all these study streams.
All
Like
stretched
the
out.
bathroom one. Yeah, do like a stretch together.
All right.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh my god.
Did you hear
was
that
a pop.
crack?
Yeah.
That was big.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Begin.
Beautiful. Just make sure I'm on camera. I might lose myself for this one. Okay.
Well, she says I saw someone dislocate their thumb like this.
That's why I go slow, and if you are feeling the pressure, don't over pull it.
As with any stretch, make sure, do not push yourself. Take it easy.
Yeah, the point is not to feel pain. It's to feel a good stretch and then hold it there. If it's like actually super painful, you might be doing it wrong or you might be overexerting it.
All right, jumping back up. Levi says, kids sounding too grown up is a thing in movies. I think it's writing and directing issue more than anything.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I totally agree. You cannot blame the child because they don't know what they're doing usually. And only when you get like that miracle child actor is you're like, oh, you got lucky because then you didn't have to direct them that much.
There's just some movies to me where you feel like you're kind of just watching the script. You're not really watching like an actual interaction between characters.
Yes.
And there's parts of Black Phone that kind of felt like that to me where it was kind of just like one statement and then the next statement. One statement, the next statement. It never felt like the interaction was actually like organic or natural in any way. Some of it was good though. Like the Ethan Hawke interactions I felt like were creepy and really good and well done.
I think the way it was shot was actually really nice. And I think specifically when they did the old-timey shots with actual film, that felt good. And then I will say a lot of the eeriness with the dead kids, I won't spoil too much, but I thought actually, I agree this is another thing from the review that I actually very much agree with. If they would have just not shown the kids, I think it added a level of creepiness just hearing them.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost wish they would have kept it like that, but I think it wouldn't have done as well with audiences if it was just the voice. So I felt like that was more of a crowd pleaser, which that's fine. But I actually thought just the noise and the audio that they did was creepy enough and like it did the job.
Oh, it's very, because in terms of jump scares, that's really all they used for the jump scares was that.
Well, don't spoil too much.
Yeah. Okay. I just won't say anything.
Well, you can't be like, oh, there's 3 jump scares.
Oh, I didn't specify anything. Oh my god. Let's see. Barbara said, or no, sorry. Light says, do you think Tumblr is a good place to share art?
You know, back in the day, it definitely was more. We did a panel at DragonCon talking about social media specifically, and there was someone in the crowd that like was really adamant that Tumblr is still a viable platform. And I still post on it. I don't know exactly the return engagement because I haven't done a Kickstarter since
It would have been 2020.
last year. No, I did a book one
Or
last year.
Was it last year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for my 2019-2020 book.
I guess, yeah.
So I will let you guys know when I do my next Kickstarter because it'll be interesting because we don't really have as much Instagram because our account's suspended. So I'm kind of relying on other social medias. So I'm curious if Tumblr actually does give a viable return. DeviantArt surprisingly gave a little bit of a return, and I wasn't expecting a lot from that at all on my last Kickstarter because everyone jokes about how dead DeviantArt is. But I actually saw like a 1 to 3% return on DeviantArt, which, yeah, it doesn't sound a lot. But the Kickstarter made like $100K. So 1 to 3% all of a sudden becomes like $1,000 to $3,000. So I would say that's, still pretty viable. I don't know about Tumblr though, sorry.
Been watching these little bunnies outside and they've been running around. It's cute.
Next comment, please.
I'm fine on one. Here we go. Levi says, yeah, I feel like I finally want to start pushing myself and my art out there, and I can't help but feel like I missed the boat on the good social media times.
Ugh, I hate to agree with that statement. And I feel terrible for anyone trying to like get into social media now, especially younger artists. I have no idea how they can deal with like the amount of pressure and like the amount of weight that we feel in our worth when like a post does well versus when it doesn't do well. There is just a lot to it. So just know if you are trying to get into it, is this Levi?
Yes, yeah.
If you are trying to get into this now, just know there's a lot of ways on presenting it that are like kind of these tricks and tips. Try to learn from those as much as you can and ask artists that seem to be doing well. They might not respond to you, but you might find one that will just give you a hint or two. I'll try to share as much as I can whenever I learn anything on these live streams, or I don't even know where else I would post. Probably to my Patreon followers, but these live streams I'll definitely share anything I learn. But yeah, I do feel like the golden age of like being able to just post a finished work that you're really proud of, a static finished work, and like walking away from it and it doing well. Those days are a little behind us, at least for Instagram. Thankfully, Twitter kind of still has remnants of that golden age. So try Twitter.
Ella says, my focus right now is just to finish all the art projects I have ongoing before their deadlines. Yeah, so probably social media is not what you're wanting to focus on right now.
No.
Especially with reels and all these things you have to do now. It's just an extra layer of work.
Yeah, and I have a lot of friends where if they're super busy with like freelance and stuff, they're not going to be taking the time to like make a reel every day. So just know you're not alone, and if you have freelance, focus on that freelance, because I feel like you could get a lot more work from that than trying to make a reel every day. But even as I say that though, I've had other friends that do super well, even though that they are doing freelance and stuff, making reels. So it just depends on how much energy are you willing to give towards it, and how much are you willing to accept that it may not always work. I think finding that balance is very important for everyone.
Light says, regret not making a following around the 14 to 15 era, the best times on Insta.
Mm-hmm. Those were the best time on Insta.
I think also, but we're seeing it now too, because Stimma is obviously a nice following on Instagram, but even for Etsy right now, I think it's down like 80% from last year. So Instagram's just not, the traffic-wise, it's not doing what it used to do. And I think that's where we're finding Twitter and stuff.
Yeah, but I can't blame Etsy because we got suspended on Instagram,
I'm not blaming Etsy.
Or like, I can't even blame or what I meant is I can't even blame Instagram fully because we got suspended. So like, we're probably not being shown as to many people as we used to be, because we probably still would see some growth, but we've seen like reverse growth.
Yeah. We've
seen the decline, and that has been terrifying. So yeah.
Kitten Island says, thank you so much for the stretch break instructions. Sincerely, the person that always asks about hand issues.
Yes, but just remember, kind of like what that other user said, don't push yourself too much or don't overstretch it, because you could actually hurt yourself. But it is a good stretch. The best thing to do is, there's like a wrist motion one like this. You keep your arms locked together and move that in circles. Obviously, eating healthier definitely helps.
I think just being conscious of if something hurts, it probably needs a break, or
you need to give some attention to it.
Yeah. Felix says, I can't even begin to think about social media growth. It does seem like you get more organic growth on YouTube and TikTok, though.
Yeah, TikTok is great right now for like unknown quote-unquote artists to just be seen.
1 minute, by the way.
Oh no, I liked this one. And YouTube, definitely, if you have like a video that goes viral, I mean, you will gain a crap ton of followers quickly, but you also have to have enough content so that when they go to your page, that's when they'll decide if they want to follow you or not. So try to like push out a good amount of content on YouTube, and that's where you can start to expect to see your growth. I mean, I barely give any attention to my YouTube besides like these live streams and the Blue Moon video, or once in a Blue Moon video. and I've seen pretty good growth on there. Just consistency, and you know, try to give advice that seems helpful for whoever's on the other end watching.
All right, going down to 10 seconds, Tim.
No.
And a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm sad. I actually liked this one.
I mean, you can always come back to them if you want to.
Okay, you can change it.
All right. Final drawing. Ooh.
Yeah, I said it ended on a pretty one. I threw enough dead ones in there for me to feel appeased.
The crunchy boys.
Ugh. I definitely could have done more with that leaf. Alright, final one.
All right.
Is everyone ready? Take a sip of your water.
Good job, everyone. You've made it.
Okay.
All right. Give this one your all.
Let's see here. Let's start with the lighter pencil. Okay, let's do this.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Also, I feel like during this segment we should talk about all the new things that have been announced recently. Pikmin 4, it was announced, and I am very excited because that is one of my favorite Nintendo games ever. Pikmin 3 specifically. And that got announced yesterday alongside Tekken 8, which I don't even know if I'll play it, but I used to play Tekken a lot as a kid, so I'll probably just like watch the cutscenes and things online. But then there was a new God of War trailer, obviously the Breath of the Wild 2, and then I saw all the Disney releases that they have scheduled. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the Disney remakes or just anything that Disney kind of makes in general nowadays, but it was curious to see how many new things are coming out recently in film and movies, because then even in like horror world, the Boulette brothers announced their next Dracula, and it's like an all-star cast. And then this movie called Terrifier, which has Art the Clown as this like reoccurring new serial killer of the 2020s. Even though he's been in a few short films and a different film before, I think it's All Hallows Eve, but he's getting a sequel to his movie, obviously Hocus Pocus 2.
Isn't Art the Clown a really creepy one, though?
Yes.
Like, messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, so only if you are
That's like gore
a
porn
horror
to me.
buff
Yeah.
should you watch that. Yeah, honestly, I don't even know if it's good necessarily, but I think him as a character is frightening, and like it does its job of scaring me. So I guess if that's the intent of the horror movie, it does its job, but it is kind of stupid.
I think I couldn't watch it. It was like too gory for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does cross the line.
There was a lot. I mean, Pikmin 4, I think, was the most exciting.
Oh, I'm so excited,
that was
guys.
Something different, finally.
Well, and obviously, like Final Fantasy, the Crisis Core remake. I don't even know if I want to play it. I played it on PSP and it was fine, but I don't know if it like generated enough excitement for me to want to replay it again.
I think that's been the weirdest thing to me is there were so many remakes announced, and I'm like, it's fun to see, but it'd be nice to get newer stuff now.
Yeah,
I guess
it's a safe grab for sure.
Let's see. I'm Funi says I've Comic-Con in November, so I'm creating new stuff and hopefully it all will work.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Wait, what kind is it?
A Comic-Con. Remind me too where you live, Fumi, because I remember one of the streams you were talking to. I just can't remember where you were at.
Actually, for those who are curious in doing cons, our group has a little theory right now that Comic Cons are actually on the decline and anime cons are on the incline. So if you're curious about, participating in cons yourself, I would actually try to apply more to anime cons over Comic Cons.
I think that depends where you live though too. Because I remember.
I don't know. I haven't heard of anyone doing super well at any Comic Con compared to like an anime con in the same area.
Oh, that's right. Fumi's in Kuwait. Because I remember us talking about that too, where you're saying it's really expensive to get into them too. So yeah, I do hope that really goes well for you too. That's exciting.
Yeah, but if you don't do well, just know it possibly because of this theory that anime cons are actually like where to be nowadays. And if you think about it, it does kind of make sense because a lot of pop culture and superhero stuff ended in 2018-ish. So it was like the Avengers and Game of Thrones, and a lot of these ended at the same time. And I think the fan base was like taking a break because there was just too much. Oh, and Star Wars, that ended too. So now that we're getting all these kind of like knockoffs and things that like people I don't think are as interested in, where anime is like super on the rise, I'm seeing it everywhere. And I don't know if it's just, I don't want to say serendipity, but I don't know if it's just coincidence, but like with the Berserk, I'm seeing it way more. Junto Ito, I'm seeing everywhere. I just saw a Junto Ito shirt at the grocery store.
Oh, serious?
Where I'm like, oh, this is like really breaching pop culture now. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it appeals to a horror crowd though too. So it just it's accessible, I guess. Like your average crowd isn't going to want to watch or like read anything
like Spider-Man or something.
I think Spider-Man and stuff, maybe. I don't think people do comics as much as they used to though at all.
Definitely not.
Even manga and stuff, I guess, is on the rise just because younger
Manga's
crowd.
on the rise. Yeah, but think about it. Those ones that are reading manga younger are going to grow up and probably be into it more.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of the Comic-Con, it's like super fans are being kind of aged out of wanting to go to cons. I mean, they still could, but a lot of them have families now. You know, they have other priorities.
I think it's just the pendulum, though. I think there's going to be some more hits and stuff.
It's the pendulum.
Like Comic-Cons will be on the rise again because there'll be something new coming out. We'll see.
Well, that's my theory, and I think it's pretty true.
All right, 4 minutes left.
Oh, jeez.
Fumi says, I noticed a lot of artists are leaving Etsy.
Yes.
Yeah. It's hard because once you build a following on it, though, you kind of have to stick with it.
Well,
but
no,
we tried
we
our
have
website.
been moving. We actually get more sales right now on our website, our personal one, than we do Etsy.
True.
Because once Etsy implemented that raise, I forgot what it was. It was like 3%.
Rate, how much they take, yeah. Well, plus they charge. Etsy does forced advertising. So if you go on Google, you know how sometimes there'll be the top thing on the search will be an ad thing. If someone clicks that, Etsy technically put it there. So they take, what is it? It was like a crazy amount of the cut. I think it was like
10
30
to 15%.
Was it? Okay, it was a lot.
30?
I just remember
Josh embellish.
70% they take from every purchase.
Oh, and crazy story. There was one time on a live stream where I not only recommended, I posted the link to one of our products on Etsy. The person clicked it, and they bought something else from Etsy. Etsy took that as a paid advertisement, and they took 15% of that, even though I linked them.
My thought is because it probably was linked through YouTube, so then they saw it coming in as like a Google related click.
That like destroyed all my trust with Etsy, where I was like, nope, I'm out. I want out of this.
But we are working on our website more because Etsy is a little getting greedy right now.
I mean, if you're a newer artist coming into this, honestly, I would focus on having your own website over having like an Etsy or something, because at least you get more control over everything when you do your own website.
I don't know what's going on because I just saw today this morning Patreon's doing mass layoffs. So I don't know what's going on and how that's going to affect people on it then. But to me it's like just probably money being mismanaged horribly. That leaf is so crunchtastic.
I know. I'm going to finish that leaf.
Felix says, I'm doing all the Souls games until Hogwarts Legacy comes out. I love Bloodborne, but Dark Souls 1 feels janky. I mean, yeah, I feel that.
Okay, so I was convinced to play Bloodborne this winter, and I definitely will. But I was going to mention Hogwarts Legacy. I try not to watch trailers to spoil myself, but I did watch the Common Room one. It looks really good.
It does look great.
I was very impressed with how they did the the corridor rooms
We're
or the
gonna-
common rooms.
We're gonna have to talk after stream though too, because apparently they're doing a PlayStation exclusive thing with the game right now, and it feels a little bad though. They're adding like a whole quest line to it and a whole store to.
Hell yeah.
So I might have to play it on PlayStation.
Well, I called it first, so you can play it
I don't
when
wanna
I'm
miss-
not playing
You're
it.
not even a big Harry Potter fan.
What? I've read them. And
You read them. Did you
I
go
read the
to
first
midnight
4.
releases, Timothy?
First off, no. Because you even said you were going to play on the computer, and I said, that's great.
I
'cause I'll
know.
play
I
on the
didn't know they were
PS5.
doing all this. This is gonna be a fight. We'll have to do it after the stream.
No, I'm definitely taking the PS5
I feel like PlayStation exclusive, do what you want to do, but making it like they're literally making an extra shop that apparently you can make more money selling stuff at, and they're adding in a whole quest line.
Oh, weird.
I'm like, what? I may actually have to buy a PlayStation.
No, you're not buying a PS5.
I'm gonna have to buy a PS5. That's the only solution.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, this is horrible.
I mean,
Couple troubles.
that's Sony playing their deals. It's going to work, too.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry.
You know what? Actually, add another 5 minutes, because I forgot. This is the last one, so this is it.
Forgot.
So everyone, we get a little extra time on this one.
I was going to a dark place about this right now, though. It's just.
Yeah, jeez. This is really affecting you.
It is, because I literally saw it right before the stream, and I had no idea they were doing a PlayStation exclusive. Like, okay, if you're doing PlayStation exclusive, like, do a cosmetic. Like, maybe give you a shirt or something that you can't get on other consoles. But, like, literally adding content to the game feels a little bad.
Sony wants that money.
They're giving you an entire building and area in the game that I won't be able to access. Until probably like 2 years down the line, once the rights are up, then for the exclusive.
I mean, who knows? Maybe the content's not even that great.
Yeah. I am PO'd right now, though.
Yeah.
I want to fight. Let's see here.
I mean, next year's going to be crazy because we have the Hogwarts, and then I have Final Fantasy 16, and then possibly the remake part 2, but I have a feeling they're going to push that to 2024.
I think they're going to push it, yeah, because if they're doing a major release, they're not going to do 2
one a year.
Yeah. That's.
Which is lame.
I know.
If you have that big of a team, look at Pixar. Although Pixar's
No,
not
it's
wearing
money,
themselves
though,
out.
because they're afraid they wouldn't get. Games now want that like initial first week rush because that gives them like the headlines and
That is
everything.
very true.
So they won't want to
Yeah,
do
but
2 in 1 year. 'cause
Literally,
it's
just
gonna...
do one in the spring, one in the winter. Like that's plenty of time in between.
They could do that maybe.
They should.
Yeah. That would be fine. I think the issue is they probably won't be able to finish it in time where it could be that early.
Yeah, I think that's the
Yeah.
real issue.
Barbara says, I feel like I'm late to the game in more ways than one, being somewhat older and having avoided social media for many years. But I think I'll just focus on my drawing and keep on posting on DeviantArt and Instagram.
I mean, I'm telling you, Barbara, I hated Instagram or Twitter, and I never thought you'd make me a believer in Twitter, but they've done it. And literally, you can just post and leave. If you don't even want to spend a lot of time on it, just make an account, post it with like the title of the piece, and then just leave.
2 minutes, 30 seconds.
Oh no.
That's just because I'm probably never forget about it later.
Mm-hmm.
Felix says, do anime cons accept non-weeb stuff?
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be mostly fan stuff that gets traction. Oh yeah, because I mean, Tim sets up there, and then all of our friends, most of them don't do any fan art.
Yeah,
so,
almost none of them.
And I think because it stands out then. So, granted though, I think more people are catching on to that. So, maybe the weeb stuff's starting to stand out more again. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, right now though, it seems to be doing really well.
Yeah, if you do original art, you can definitely still get into anime cons as long as it kind of fits like a fantasy theme. Like I think if you do primarily sci-fi, I think that would be kind of a hard pitch to try to get in, but you never know.
I feel like sci-fi might do better at a Comic-Con then.
Yes.
Yeah. Ifumi says, but last time they didn't allow cosplay, so hope this time they will, I'm guessing. Even though the cosplayer's not showing that much of skin. Oh, I didn't think about that though, because you're in
What are you talking about?
I'm reading. Sofumi says, last time they didn't allow cosplay, so hope they will this time, even though the cosplayer's not showing that much of skin.
Wait, like at the show, they would not let cosplayers even walk in?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's probably something with Kuwait
What?
then, like with culture. Because yeah, I mean, definitely at like American shows, there's some pretty
scandalous ones.
Yeah.
Actually, there's some where I'm like questioning how the hell they got through.
I've seen guys specifically like basically just wearing like a really tight thong, nothing else, no shirt, nothing. Like that you can definitely get away with a lot more here.
Like
30 seconds, by the way.
I'm like trying to think of how I should say this, but essentially, the equivalent of a nip slip for a guy, if you can kind of imagine what that is, that happened at a con at my booth, and it was very uncomfortable.
Oh yeah.
But it was with obviously the lower region, and I was like, I don't even know if I should tell you. I don't know.
Oh, that's too gross though.
Well, yeah, at that point, like, come on.
Keep the junk inside.
Keep it to yourself.
All right, we are there. Good job, everybody.
Good job, everybody. Okay, if you want to post your submissions in the Discord, we'll do a quick look through at what everyone created. I'm not going to critique it as much for this one, but we will give a little time just to post your stuff. Man, that one went fast. Actually, this whole stream. I think my favorites for mine, here, let me zoom out. Or no, I'll zoom in here. I really like the second crunch and then this one. I think those two were my favorite studies of the day. And I think a lot of these I just needed more time. I don't know if I was just getting too wrapped up in talking, but I feel like I was like clearly short on time on this one. This one I didn't finish that area. The mushrooms don't have any darkness. This one's fine. But yeah, I think these two were my most successful studies of the day.
So what happens if they make exclusives PC that are different? I don't think they are. That's the sad part when I saw it, because I think the game was like originally gonna be a PlayStation exclusive, but then somehow it worked out that they got it on all the major ones, so like Xbox, everything.
Really?
But PlayStation's still getting like the exclusive content. I'm sure they'll have some deluxe edition on PC that'll give you like a couple robe options or something, but yeah. Here, have an extra robe. While PlayStation gets a whole area for themselves. I'm so pissed right now.
Josh is upset.
I am.
I mean, Josh is a gamer through and through, so this actually affects him.
It does. I just, like, why give them... Oh, yeah, again, give them cosmetics. To me, if you're doing a console exclusive, that to me is fair. You're getting an entire area of the game. Tim, you're pushing me. I see red.
Flames.
Flickering
on the side of my face. Alright. So yeah, I actually had a really good time on these studies. I mean, organic nature fantasy stuff. I mean, I know it's not like specifically fantasy, but obviously nature lends itself to more fantastical themes. So this is a really fun one for me to create today. You ready to show what other people did? Let's see here.
Oh, hi. She's standing on all your drawings.
Oh, no. Could you grab her? That's good.
Also, kind of on you, though, too, for just leaving stuff on the bed.
I just put it just for the stream.
Let's go this way, okay? Dodge away, please.
My friends always give me a lot of crap for not taking better care of my drawings, and this is like prime example.
Also, I have to put a cone on her. She has a new spot.
Okay, are we ready? Oh, I gotta pull up this antique.
I'm so sorry, baby.
Well, if you want to go do that really quick, I'll start doing
cone
these. Yeah.
Yeah, her spot's just getting bad.
Trying to think of the best way to open these. I might pull them into our Photoshop here. Actually, I'm going to move this over. Okay, this one's from Monlin. I always want to like pronounce your name differently because of the way that it looks to me. Okay, let's make this full screen. This is lovely. I like when artists like capture the stenciling and like the fickleness of the line within the flower in the area. Like this is gorgeous to me. I love seeing line art like this. So I think that's great. So well done, well done. So here we got wishy. Oh. Even though it's probably wishy. Wish I. Yeah, I think for these, this is great. I'm glad that you went bold with some of the darker pencils. I can see you getting more comfortable with the darker ones as you went down the line. And I love that you captured a lot of the gills of the mushrooms. That's what I really wanted to do. I ran out of time. But I think you did a good job, especially with the flower on the left here too. Hope that one was fun for you. Sparkles Divine. Love the name. I like how many of you are working traditionally this time too. I just love it. I can see you restarted it looks like a couple times. And then remember, when it comes to the vein going down the center of the leaf, try not to have it be super prominent. I actually think the ones on the right look better because the ones on the left look very much like a hard line down the center of the vein, where I actually like the subtlety on the right. I think you did a great job with the dead leaf here. I'm telling you, those dead leaves, they're so appealing. All right, next up, let's see. This is Barbara. As expected, these are gorgeous. Oh, you did a much better job on that pine than I did. I was like trying to like create every single one, but I like how you even have tonal shifts within that pine branch. And for any of you that are watching on YouTube that want to see these closer, you can watch them, or you can check them out on the Discord link below. They're in the stream follow along channel. Yeah, I love some of the intricacies you're doing here and like really pushing heavy dark against like pure negative space. I think you did a really good job with that. And yeah, that curl on this leaf, that looks so good. But I mean, I always expect great things from you, Barbara. Oh, this one's fun. So this one's digital, but you did a great job with the line art. There's like line weight variation. It just feels intentional where you put it. I think this one, there's a little bit of thickness where I don't think it should be, but I think as you went down like these two, I really feel the strength in your line weighting. Yeah, I think that's great. And then lastly, oh my gosh, you did color with this too. Let me pull that one on the screen.
Ooh.
This one's from Lucy.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's lovely. I'm surprised you were able to do that in 10 minutes. I mean, watercolor to me is like just difficult. So the fact that you were able to pull these out on a live stream and still do cute dog. I think that's great.
Oh.
Yeah, I can really see a lot of the strength in how you're handling like boldness in the color, especially this one, like that thin dark brown, and then you pull in some of those lighter values. Great job. Not sure how this works. No, that's literally however you want to study is accurate. So this was great. So thank you all for coming to this live stream and for following along. I don't know what we want to do next week. If any of you guys have any suggestions for something you'd like to study, I am definitely open to suggestions. Like I said, these are pretty easy for me to want to do every Wednesday because I feel like a lot of time and energy gets put into the ones where I have to like pre-plan and get more creative, and doing that while talking can sometimes be a challenge, especially when I'm so deeply involved with Drawtober drawings and trying to finish this tarot card. So I would definitely be open to suggestions on what you want to study next week, and then we'll probably do that. So if you want to put that in the suggestions on Discord, and then I'll pick the best one on Tuesday. So yeah. All right. Any last words, Josh?
No. Great time with everyone. Thanks for chatting, and we will see you next week.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for coming. Bye everyone.
Right.
Bye 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 bye.